What's going on, ladies? Now, before we get into this, if you are interested in the things I'm saying in this video and you want to learn how to go from casual to committed with men, I have 9 free guides. Look at this many. 9 free guides for you. All you have to do is click the link below and you get them for free, okay? It'll help you with everything I talk about in all my videos. Summed up, again, just little guides. So, jumping into this, as you can see by the title below, we're talking about phrases men need to say for you to continue with them in terms of a relationship. If a man says these certain phrases or the opposite of, whatever, I would cut it off with him. And I wanted to make a video about this because I have a lot of clients who are coming to me wondering why it's not working out. And when I'm doing some digging, now of course I will admit over the years you're all getting a lot better at this, but I still have people who fail to bring up the what are you looking for, or what are you wanting out of, like, type of conversation. You got to have that in the very beginning, ladies. I mean, like first date, or better, even better before the first date, like when you're talking, texting, matching on the app. So what are you looking for? Something simple as that. And I can understand where I have some pushback on this, because people will say, well, these guys could lie. And that is true. But here's the thing. You want to frame it, though. You at least want to frame it that we're on this. Now, again, he could be lying to you. We can, I talk about how to deal with all that in the guides and stuff. But you still want to frame it at least as we're on the same page and this is what it looks like. So, for example, if I were to ask you, name 5 characteristics or traits of, a casual relationship, you all would probably say around the same things. It's casual, it's inconsistent, there's no depth, it's more physical. There's no consistency. You don't see each other all the time, text all the time, date all the time. The dates are it's a lot low maintenance. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you'll get the same variables. And the reason this is important is when you're talking to a guy and you ask him, so what are you looking for? And he says relationship, it starts you, if something were to happen later on, you're starting off on the right foot. Because if I tell you, what are you looking for? And you say, Elliot, I'm looking for something serious, right? I have there's like a universal variable on what that looks like. Consistency, transparency, openness, depth, rapport, progression, like these type of things. So when a guy is pulling some bullshit a month out and it doesn't line up with those things, well, it's time to have a discussion. Okay, so that's why it's important. You don't ever want to not have the discussion and be like, oh, hey, a month in, and you're like, oh, hey, we never really had this talk, but what are you looking for? And he's already a month in, and he's like, well, I just kind of going with the flow. I'm just seeing kind of what happens. I like this. Let's not change it. Let's not make this difficult. Like, and then you're kind of stuck. I mean, you can, of course, say, well, I'm just so you know, I'm looking for a relationship. Are you aligned with that? But you want to have it early on, okay? So that kind of is a good segue to what this video is about. Ladies, if you're talking to a guy, okay, and he does not say one of these 3 things, he's out, okay? If you ask a guy what he's looking for in terms of a relationship or whatever, if he's not saying I'm looking for something serious, I'm looking to settle down, I'm looking for a relationship, if it's not that, he's out. He's out. If you're talking to a guy and he's saying things along the lines of, I'm just kind of going with the flow, I'm trying to see what happens, I'm ultimately looking to settle down, I'm in no rush, anything like that, ladies, he doesn't want to, trust me, I've never been wrong on this. He's very uncertain about a relationship. I tell women, you have to go into the game. Here's, I guess, the nugget of this video. You have to go into the game, and you get very good at understanding people when you realize they're doing what they're doing with their own best interest in mind. You have to understand, this doesn't mean he's a good or bad guy, it's just normal. If I'm dating you and we're on a first or second date, whatever, right? We just started talking, we're a week or 2 in, I'm never gonna put your needs over mine. I'm never gonna put what you want over me. Like, you have to understand, I'm going to give myself some wiggle room, and meaning I don't want to tell you I'm 100% looking for a relationship when I'm not. And I know it sounds horrible, but I'm not going to tell you I'm not looking for a relationship either, right? I'm giving myself some leeway, some back and forth, because I know it's a game of risk. I know if I tell you I'm just looking to hit it, I just want to get those sugar walls. I want to go to Population Pound Town, or Population 2. Sorry, bad joke, but you get what I'm saying, like. You don't. A guy knows there's risk in saying that, and the woman will let him go. The same thing on the other end. If you're talking to a guy and he, is like, oh, let's just kind of see what happens. I'm new in town, I'm just dating, but I'm ultimately looking for a relationship. If he says all that shit, you are now taking the burden of risk. It's a game of risk, ladies. You're taking the burden of risk when you're deciding to progress without concrete information. Stuff that's abstract, right? Stuff that's up there or ambiguous. Yeah, it's ambiguous. You don't know necessarily what it means or entails, but because you like the guy, you want to give it the benefit of the doubt, or you want it to work out, you're justifying these things. Well, it does make sense. I guess we got to see where it goes. That's what people do all the time. But it's like, you got to understand flip it. You got to understand from a man's perspective, it's the burden of risk. I know if I liked you and I do want a relationship, whether it's a relationship with you or not, two factors just have to apply. Do I like you? Yeah. Do I want a relationship? Of course. Then I would not say something like, oh, I'm just kind of going, just seeing kind of what happens, going with the flow. I'm open to a relationship, though, if the right woman comes along. He would never say that. He would say, I'm ultimately looking for a relationship. I'm wanting something serious. I'm looking to settle down. I'm dating with intent, to settle down. Something like that. Because if a high-value woman who doesn't want to waste her time, especially you ladies over 35, and I'm not like dogging on you or anything, I'm just saying where you don't want to waste your time, it is a risk for a man, and a man knows this. She's going to be like, I need a guy with a little more, he needs to know what he wants. I'm dating with intent personally. I'm 35. I'm wanting to settle down. I'm wanting to have a kid. I don't want to waste time. Now, I'm not saying you're going to say all that to him and freak him the fuck out, but you know what I'm getting at. A man should understand this. Okay? And so he knows if he's talking to a 35, 36, 37-year-old, 40-year-old, whatever, she's not wanting to waste time. So if he's giving her a statement that doesn't sound 100%, now I'm not saying, listen, ladies, I'm not saying this guy has to commit right then and there. I'm not saying this guy has to say, I'm gung-ho about fucking marriage. I want kids and family. And I want that shit as soon as, he doesn't have to say that. Just, I'm dating with intent. I'm dating, I'm looking for a relationship, or I'm looking for something serious. That's all he has to say. And then you're like, okay, cool. And then you march towards that. But anything other than that, you're taking the burden of risk. Hopefully that makes sense. This is what, an 8.5 minute video. I could have said that in, just 2 sentences, but I hope you get what I'm getting at with that, ladies. And again, if you want to work with me, link is down below. I would love to work with you, decipher your situation, give you some clarity, the clarity he's not giving you, and or if you want to get my guides free, all 9 links down below. Ladies, I love you all. Take care and peace.